still in the whole area of food and what we consume. What we put into our bodies is very, very important. That is why we invited Dr. Toby Keeney, the Managing Director of Quincy Wellness and Naturopathic Center. And she's also a physician of naturopathic and traditional medicine. Now, she's joining us on our nutrition segment today to discuss remedies for common ailments. Now, we started this last week. We talked about tummy bugs and fevers last week. And today we're touching on something a little bit deeper. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. A lot of your tips have been working for me, by the way, I have to say. Yes.
Great.
But we're talking a bit about anemia as well. People who are living with this condition. We, of course, because it's a nutrition segment, we're talking about what they can eat or avoid that can possibly help with the situation?
Yes, definitely. So before we talk about ailments for anemia, let's first talk about what can cause anemia.
Okay.
Because we're in a malaria endemic country, malaria actually does cause anemia. Because literally, in layman's term, the parasite literally destroys red blood cells.
Wow.
Yes, and so
that's what the malaria parasite does.
It literally, yeah, I'm trying to look for an easy way, but it destroys the red blood cells. It's like kind of, that's what it feeds on. You know, malaria, when they say malaria sucks your blood, it literally, literally does suck your blood. Yeah. And so some people may not even show malaria symptoms, but over time they become anemic. And that's a way we can do kind of figure out, oh, why you're anemic all the time, you don't have heavy periods. Heavy menstruation can also cause anemia. So when you see it in a woman or a man, you know, you're just like, you're not having periods, what's going on? We'll say, let's check your malaria status. And then a lot of times we find out that they're living with chronic anemia. Malaria. Chronic malaria, and thereby chronic anemia. So that's one of the causes. So malaria can cause anemia. Heavy periods can cause anemia. Poor nutrition can cause anemia. So and then sickle cell can cause, well, sickle cell anemia, of course, yes.
So when it comes to consuming the right things or avoiding things that could, you know, complicate the situation, where do we begin with our diet?
So first things first is trying to consume foods that contain iron. Iron is what kind of helps red blood cells to carry oxygen and things like that. So foods that are containing iron are very good for helping with anemia. However, a lot of people just think it's red meat. Oh, I need to eat meat so I can have iron, so I can have blood. The problem with eating red meat is that you get the iron, but you also get the cholesterol and the hormones and all the different things they use to raise the animal. So you may end up causing more harm than good by eating a lot of meat in an attempt to have the iron. So I usually would recommend plant-based iron sources so that you can get as much iron as you want without having the negative effects of eating meat.
Some examples of plant-based iron?
One awesome one is, well, in America, spinach. In Nigeria is ugu.
Ugu?
Yes. Yes, ugu is very, very high in iron. I mean, if you did a smoothie with ugu and did it every day and check your blood levels in a week, it can raise by 2 to 3 points. Both the hematocrit and the hemoglobin can be raised by 2 to 3 points, sometimes even more. So I tell people, do an ugu smoothie. So in your ugu, put your fruits and whatever else you want, and drink that every day, and eat ugu in the night, eat, you know, smoothies in the morning.
So when you're preparing ugu, now I know you can eat ugu raw. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people add it to their soups. Is there anything we have to make sure we do to make sure that it stays the same?
That's a very awesome question. The problem we have in Nigeria is that we overwash our vegetables and overcook it. And that's where you lose all the vitamins and all the nutrients. So before you cut your ugu, wash it very, very well. And then cut it after. Do not put it back in water, just once you're done. And then when you're done cooking the base, that's the last thing you add. Toss it around just to put some heat on it, and then you can eat it that way. So you're not losing the benefits. When you start washing the ugu, start soaking it, you start doing, you're losing all the fiber, all the iron, all the problems, all the good things that come with
all of it is basically washed out with the water.
Yes,
the
so
water you're using
in general, when you're doing your vegetables, you wash it very well. Then you cut it. And then do not boil your vegetables, you steam it. So you don't, you know, I always tell people that the dustbin and the kitchen sink is the healthiest part of our bodies.
Because you've thrown away everything.
Because you've thrown away all the goodness. I've peeled and sliced and diced all the goodness, and so it's always good to do that.
All right. So that's a plant-based source of iron.
Yes.
Do you have any others?
Okay, so in the naturopathic, or let's say the actually natural, normal ways of iron, gosh, I'm trying to look for the English name. Okay. But we call it Poro. I don't know how to explain it.
You don't know how to say
it. It's like, it's from the millet stalk. Okay. Yes, and it's very good for helping you to...
so how is that consumed?
Oh, you just boil it as a tea. Okay. You do also have a blood leaf.
I know that liver is also a great source of iron.
Yes, but it's very high in cholesterol.
Very high in cholesterol?
Very high in cholesterol. Any animal, we have cholesterol. I mean, we make our own cholesterol. Plants have no cholesterol. Okay. So liver is good, but you have to balance it out because of the
So for people living with anemia, I guess finding the right sources of iron, plant-based iron.
Yes, make sure you're doing your ugu. Make sure you're doing your beans. Make sure you're doing your lentils, your cashew nuts, and things like that. And then you can add, you know, if it's really that bad, you can add liver. But definitely there are herbal remedies you can also take that can help with the blood.
Dr. Toby, you know it's always a pleasure having you in the studio. I know there's still so much more we can share on this, but for people living with anemia, we appreciate the fact that you probably have questions. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, ask your questions, and she'll be right there.